Welcome back to Level Up!
Level up. What's up, guys? Well, we have an exciting episode today. I think we're going to talk about a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, it's a full episode, that's for sure.
Full episode.
Jam-packed.
I like that.
But the cool thing is now summer started, right? So there's a lot of exciting things going on right now. But
yeah, for sure.
One of the cool things is the Euros and Copa America.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday we were able to see Messi go against Ecuador. 37 years old, starting.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were, I guess there's like a different, because with Portugal, with Cristiano Ronaldo being the same age, there's a lot of they have a lot of depth.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty much stacked. But Argentina, there's not much of a talking about Messi not starting, because Argentina is super stacked. Mm-hmm. One crazy statistic about Argentina is that in the last 5 years, the last time that they lost, I don't even remember. Oh, they lost in the World Cup. Okay. But in the last 5 years, Argentina only lost twice. So when I was watching Ecuador, dude, how they played strong, and towards stoppage time, when they had that header at the last minute and they didn't make it, I was like, oh, that was our moment. Because I knew at the end Argentina was going to win with penalty kicks.
But for Ecuador to push Argentina to penalty kicks and to tie them up and to hold them to just one goal. Yeah. Ecuador is a small country, you know what I mean? And for that, I don't know, Argentina's pretty well decorated in terms of soccer and soccer championships. And Ecuador's always been fighting. You know what I mean? They fight hard.
Yeah, and they did a really good job.
Yeah. I honestly wish that they could have honestly taken Argentina out.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because when it goes to penalty shots, it's like nobody wins. Yeah. So I give it to Ecuador. Hats off to them. They played a great game.
Yeah, dude.
I think all genuine soccer fans don't like when a fixture ends in penalties, because it's no chance.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody likes that. Nobody wins.
So Argentina advances today. I think around 8:00 it's going to be Venezuela against Canada, which is going to be exciting. Yeah. It's going to be exciting, and then today, I think the same thing happened with France and Portugal going to penalty kicks, and unfortunately for Portugal, France advanced. Yeah. And then the game before then with Germany and Spain, that was a good one as well. Yeah. So there was a lot of good teams that fell short.
Yeah. So I think it was Spain. They scored in extra time against Germany.
Yeah.
The last goal.
Yeah, the last goal was a header. It was super good.
And Germany too, right?
Yeah, and Germany. Yeah, Hamsburg.
So during the penalty shootout between Argentina and Ecuador, to get back to that one, didn't Lionel Messi miss the first shot?
Oh my goodness, he missed.
He missed his first shot, right?
Yeah, the only miss that they had was Messi's first shot.
Wow, that's horrible for the best player to miss his first shot. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
But oh my goodness, just because it was full Argentina, it was definitely a home game, with the crowd. But just the way that they played, and just stemming off, because I'm fellow Ecuadorian and a Chelsea fan. So watching the 17-year-old, Kendry Paez, hopefully next year, because with the European, the Premier League, they have to be 18 years old to cross over to Europe to play. Okay. So Kendry Paez is 17. But being in that, he was the youngest player to start in Copa America, and he was the youngest player to score a goal for Ecuador. So I was super excited, super happy for him. Moises had a phenomenal game. Definitely was one of the best players in the field.
That's exciting for Ecuador. They have someone at 17 years old. Yeah. Can you imagine at 17 being in the professional league? Yeah, that's insane.
They have a lot of things. They're super young, Icapie, Torres, Bacho, they're all 20, 22, 23. So
young and hungry.
Yeah, they're young and hungry. So going forward, hopefully this is a learning experience for them. Yeah. But they're saying that this Argentina team is the best in the decade. They're referencing this Argentina team to the Spanish one with Iniesta, Puyol, those Busquets. That was their golden era where they won 2 Euro Cups and a World Cup.
Was Piqué on that team too?
Piqué, exactly. Now Argentina has a chance, right? They won Copa America, they won the World Cup, and this is their moment. They're going to make it to the semifinals. I think Canada is going to win today. If they can find a way to beat Canada at MetLife, they're going to have that opportunity, because a lot of people think that this is like one of the best international teams in the present time.
Well, you know what? Hopefully they get it, because here's the thing. Nobody wants to see the same people winning over and over again. But being that this is probably going to be Messi's final time playing, let him win. Go out on his shield, like winning.
I believe this is Ronaldo's last run in the Euros as well.
And now
can we talk about him missing his PK?
No,
because he was boo-hooing.
No, oh yeah, that was
He was crying, man.
Yeah, he was.
And it's sad, with Pepe and Cristiano Ronaldo, because this is probably their last one. And well, they did win the Euros last year, I think, last time they played. But Cristiano Ronaldo was such a dynamic player. He's good for the sport. So just him losing like that way against a better team in France, it was definitely upsetting. But going forward, for me, I'm excited to see England, because they're like all-stars, dude, and they should be the favorites, but they don't play good. They're like Brazil. They don't play really good with each other, but they have the stars. They have the stars, and they have
the Yankees,
like Jude Bellingham, freaking Henry Kane. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited for that one. Netherlands and Turkey. Turkey is one of those underrated teams that have come out of nowhere pretty much. That's going to be exciting too. But yeah, soccer's pretty cool right now. But super happy with Ecuador, fellow Chelsea players, even at the other side, with Hernandez and stuff. So
they have nothing to be sad about. They went out on their shield. They did great against one of the best teams in the world.
When Valencia missed that penalty kick to tie I don't know if they were tied or to go into the lead, I knew, dude, it's hard because you can't make mistakes when you play against a team like Argentina. You know what I mean? You have to take advantage of those opportunities, and that's the same thing with Germany that happened today with Spain, dude. When you're playing against a dynamic team, dude, when you have opportunities, you got to capitalize on them, because if you don't, then good teams are going to find good teams are going to find ways to win. But well, that's my little rant from the soccer.
No, it's good. There's more games. Yeah, we talked about the game for the Euros that's happening tomorrow. Tomorrow we also have Colombia and Panama. At 6, and then Uruguay and Brazil. I think if Brazil loses, they get eliminated.
This is the quarterfinal. So Colombia has been playing pretty good. I think it's going to be exciting because if Colombia and Brazil advance, they have a little rivalry going on, so that'd be pretty exciting. But Uruguay has been playing really good.
They're always in it as well.
Nunez and Valverde, those are pretty dynamic players. So, but like I said, Brazil has the capabilities to win by a long shot. It's just if they can play together, like Vinicius Jr., who's the other one that's on the who's the other guy from Real Madrid? Well, anyway, they have so many great players that it's hard for them not to win.
I think both the Euros and Copa America they're gonna produce an exciting final match.
Yeah, man. But do you guys want to talk about Ryan Garcia a little bit?
Oh my goodness. Ryan Garcia.
So from what I'm not really touching base for the most recent stuff. The last what I heard was the fact that he won, and then he was like, "Yeah, guys, I was proving you wrong. I was talking all this smack, dude, but it wasn't. I was just trolling." And he was talking about this is the media. They have they're trying to twist things and stuff, but in reality, that's all fake.
I think he was trying to put on this facade that he was going through these mental issues, kind of trying to throw Devin Haney off, his opponent. And it made him look pretty crazy.
But when he won, and then after that, I was like, "Damn, dude, this guy's super smart, dude." He was trolling with this guy, and it affected the performance.
It wasn't a bad strategy. But the thing with Ryan Garcia is that obviously after he won, then came out the whole thing about the drugs he was taking. I believe it was Ostarine, right? I don't know what kind of steroid Ostarine.
Well, that's what they found in the system. Who knows what else he was taking? Right. So that's what they found.
And you know what? It's cheating. I don't care what you say. When you take a substance like that and you win a fight, it should be declared a no contest. And I'm very happy that it was declared a no contest instead of it being a disqualification, because then they would give the win to Devin Haney. And if you watch the fight, he got his ass beat. He lost, and he lost pretty decisively. I think Ryan could have won even if he didn't have Austrian running through his system. But unfortunately, they caught him. They ruled it a no contest. It is what it is.
Yeah. So that is that like a testosterone booster? What is that?
Performance enhancing drug. I don't know what it does to your system.
It's like a stimulant or something.
A steroid, maybe.
A steroid.
Something.
Yeah.
But the result of that, he's expelled. So from my understanding, he can't come back to WBC.
So actually, from what I hear, he got expelled from the WBC from the recent remarks that he's been making online.
Sorry, yeah. So this is totally different.
Yeah, so this has to do with so I think he was banned or suspended for the Austrian.
That's right.
But now he's been expelled from the WBC, which is like the biggest organization, the biggest promotion in boxing, and for making racist remarks towards, I believe, African American people and Muslim people.
Yeah.
So, even though Ryan Garcia was acting in the beginning that he was crazy, I think he really is a little crazy,
No, but that's kind of sad, dude, because, well, we're in America, right? So it's part of our rights a little bit, but, I feel like you're entitled to say what you want to say. I know that it was a racial slur, and I think he referenced Muslims as well, which is absolutely horrible. Mm-hmm. But to take him out of that is that's a lot.
It is a lot, but to counteract that point, I will say this: if you see how most boxers conduct themselves, most professional boxers, they're very quiet. They don't really try to take the main stage. They're not on social media. They're not doing all these crazy things. That's how it's been for most of history. Ryan Garcia has been, going out there. He's pretty much an influencer now. He's hanging out with Jake Paul. He's hanging out with all these guys. Doing all these crazy things. So, he kind of made a name for himself as a boxer / influencer. He is putting his name out there that way. So what he says kind of does matter. Everybody's watching, and millions of people at home are seeing these fights and paying to see him. You're paying money to watch a man who's pretty much making a joke of himself now on live TV, on all these different platforms. I think he needs to just shut up and focus on boxing.
Right.
He needs to step away from this limelight life that, he's on every podcast now. He's talking to all these famous people. It's clear Ryan Garcia has never been 100% solely just for boxing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's kind of in it for himself to have fun a little bit. And I think that translates into his fighting when he fought against Tank.
Yeah.
That was an embarrassing show.
Yeah.
He literally got hit with a beautiful right hand, fell, and then I believe it was the next round, he got hit with another beautiful right hand to the body, took a knee, and stayed down.
Yeah.
What boxers do you guys know, do you see that are taking knees with a smile on their face?
It was obvious.
It was very obvious.
But I don't understand how, that wasn't brought to light or, talked about as more than it was. Mm-hmm. It was kind of he took, he lost, that was the result. But it's so much more than that.
It is a lot more. It seemed pretty obvious that he gave up, he didn't want to continue.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, Tank is a beast, and I'm pretty sure if any one of us were to take a right hand in the body, we would also take a knee and not get up. But you know what? Ryan Garcia's paid millions of dollars to do this,
right.
So he should be better.
Yeah.
That being said, I understand the point. I feel like before the Logan Paul and his brother Jake Paul, wasn't boxing going a little bit down, and then and then when Jake Paul came, he kind of reintroduced this talking smack.
I mean,
and then when the recent one with Dylan Dennis and with Jake Paul, with him just trolling him and his girlfriend, I felt like that made a lot of people interested in it. Yeah. So I think that was kind of what Ryan was trying to do, just troll and stuff. But I think it just I don't think he realized what he was doing, and
that's a good point, and I get what you're saying. I think with Ryan Garcia, it might have backfired on him, but with the Paul brothers, you know, I asked myself if this is good for boxing, seeing these brothers bringing out these retired UFC fighters and boxing them, and you know, whatever other athletes to box them. Listen, it's not the greatest in terms of like seeing two champions fighting
in their prime. It's like, that's the big difference.
Right, that's the big, exactly. That's the huge difference. He's not fighting any current boxers. He's not fighting any championships.
They're doing this as like a side job.
Yeah. But you know what? Just like Brian said, it is bringing a lot of attention to the sport of boxing. Yep. More people are coming to watch it. More people are buying the pay-per-views. It is kind of reigniting that flame because boxing has been dying for quite a while. The UFC came and it took over. Yeah. You know, once the UFC came in, that was like the main, you know, fighting production in the world. And
I think boxing hasn't been this much, like it hasn't sparked this much interest since Pacquiao and Mayweather. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was maybe like, how long ago was that?
I don't know.
6 years?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. So, you know.
That was like the main thing. Everyone was waiting so long for that fight to happen.
Yep. Yeah, but that being said, you can't really talk about religion, especially, you know, regardless Christianity, Muslim, you know,
any religion. Yeah.
So,
those are no-goes.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia, tough luck, man. You know.
Yeah. I guess he's going to jump in the UFC soon, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, dude.
But there's other fighters, you know, to talk about, like Tyson Fury. He just came off of a loss most recently.
Yeah, his first actual loss to Alexander Usyk, I believe. And it was a pretty good fight. I was actually very impressed with Alexander. I had figured he was going to win only because if you see Tyson Fury in his last couple fights, he fought against another UFC fighter in Francis Ngannou.
Okay.
He didn't look good in that showing. He got dropped. And he won, but I think that boxing wanted him to win, so they kind of just pushed it for him to win. I don't really believe he won that fight. Okay. But then he came out against Alexander with, I believe, the same mentality. He didn't train as hard, he didn't try, and he lost. Yeah. I think now that he lost, this is going to be good for him because he's going to come back with a fury, you know, and he's going to win.
I just think like his style of play was kind of revolutionary, right? Because what was the other one that he used? What was the other boxer?
Wilder, yeah.
Like, you know, like them going back and forth.
Oh, those were amazing fights.
Yeah, he was. Wilder fights. I don't know, very violent. In my opinion, they're like he's scary to me.
Yeah, he is. But actually, if you've been paying attention to Deontay Wilder, he's been doing pretty bad. In his last boxing match, he lost by a knockout. I don't remember who he fought against, but he's also been on a pretty big decline ever since he fought Fury.
I think that goes to show how hard of a sport boxing is, and to maintain your body and to put your body through that type of a beating. You know what I mean? And to still, you know, expect to come out and win. It's hard.
And you can't be a one-trick pony the way Deontay was. He relied mostly on his power, on his right hand. That's all he would use. And then Tyson Fury exposed him, showed that he wasn't a great boxer, didn't move well. He wasn't.
Fury was very agile in that fight.
Super agile.
Yeah, he made them look very slow,
running around him.
But Fury himself is huge,
big guy.
You know, so that was.
I believe he's like 6'9". Wilder's like 6'7". They're giants.
Yeah.
But so talking about another form of boxing. I saw this tweet that came out a couple days ago. It's from President of Physical Media. So take it as is, but it was just I believe it was a couple days ago in Los Angeles. They had a test screening for the new Mortal Kombat movie, and there was a lot of like mixed reviews, good and bad, but there was a lot of key notes that people referenced, and just wanted to say it out loud, and I just wanted to get your guys' opinion about it.
Okay.
The cool thing that they said was that this movie is going to be closer to kind of like the tournament, which is kind of like original vintage kind of Mortal Kombat. I heard there's going to be a lot of deaths, just like the first one. It's going to be a Katana and Johnny Cage movie, mostly. A lot of the characters from the first movie is going to be a little sidelined to introduce, you know, Johnny Cage, which is such a big character in Mortal Kombat, and Katana. And a lot of gore, which obviously like Mortal Kombat.
Can't have Mortal Kombat without gore.
Exactly.
And one unfortunate thing, they're saying that Carl, I forgot the character that's going to play Johnny Cage, plays good, but he's a little too old for the role.
But that's all subjective, isn't it? I mean,
it is.
This last point is subjective.
Yeah, that is subjective, but as Mortal Kombat fans, I think we're just excited for another movie.
We don't really care what the story is with Mortal Kombat. All we watch that is for the fighting scenes,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
The gore and the fights.
Yeah, but especially with the Mortal Kombat in the 90s, dude, it was really good.
Oh, those were the best.
Yeah, so
I grew up to those movies, man. I remember when all the main guys came out and had their big fights. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, even Reptile. If you guys remember, that was probably my favorite entrance into any fight scene ever. Because Reptile is laying on the floor and the monster goes into that like statue, and then you hear like the announcer call him out and say Reptile, and he comes out into the fight and like does the craziest kick into Liu Kang and puts him through a wall. That was one of the greatest entrances into any fight scene I've ever seen.
And
for sure.
I think the first Mortal Kombat was really, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But there wasn't really much introduction to kind of like the actual
stories and stuff.
Yeah, like the tournament in itself.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was just kind of like an introduction to a character. I believe it was Cole.
Yeah, Cole.
Mm-hmm. And it was pretty much him kind of getting his powers.
Okay.
And then it was mostly Scorpion and Sub-Zero, which I loved. That was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
But now Sub-Zero's in hell pretty much, right? The Hell Realm.
Yeah, I believe so. So if this is the first one, the first Sub-Zero, I believe he dies and comes back as a new character called Smoke.
Okay.
And then the second brother, he takes the mantle of Sub-Zero. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure if we see if Sub-Zero comes out in this movie, the second one, it's gonna be the other brother, the younger one.
One of the cool things that I love about it is we're gonna get Katana, because Liu Kang and Katana, they're like the
little romance,
the romance of it. So I'm happy to see that. Also happy to see Luke Cage, because he's such an important component to the actual Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah,
hopefully hopefully it exceeds our expectations.
For sure.
I don't have much expectations of it. I just hope it's like a trilogy. I hope it's not just 2 3 movies. I'm hoping that it can kind of be like 4 or 5,
or maybe even like 3 movies, like a trilogy, like you said, and then maybe branch off into a show. Have like a Mortal Kombat show, live action.
I've talked to you about this before, like the animated show that they have. The animated movies, few movies that they have, and maybe like they've had 3 or 4 in the past 5 years. And the quality, the animations, like I'm a big fan, and even the story is really great.
Yeah.
They go into like talking about how the Sub-Zero and Smoke, like their brotherhood, and like how like the new Sub-Zero is taking up the mantle. Mm-hmm. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen them, they're all on Max. So they're all really great.
Yeah, very good movies.
And something else on Max that has been insane is the House of Dragons. Bro. We got to talk about this. Is it the second episode?
This is the third one.
The third episode. I think it was. It wasn't necessarily my favorite episode, but it was it was gearing up to the episode 4, which I
thought last episode was gearing up.
Yeah, kind of another filler.
I'm trying to see some dragons, yo.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see some armies.
But Renaria, and finding a way to see Allison, that was pretty cool.
That was risky.
Was risky.
Very risky.
One thing I will say, I think Michelle, she actually dove into this a little bit. She was like, that doesn't happen in the books. That was just kind of just like for the show.
Interesting.
And I thought that scene was kind of like, there was one reason why I feel like it was important, and that was to show the audience that like, okay, Allison, she like the truth was revealed to her, and she's still kind of stuck in her original opinion about like, Aegon should be king, blah blah blah.
So for me, because I had to really like watch it again to kind of understand it. Mm-hmm. So when the king at the time, when he was speaking to Allison, he was pretty much talking about the story, right?
Yeah.
The Song of Fire and Ice, or Ice and Fire.
Yeah. So he didn't.
It's basically a dream.
So he didn't necessarily believe Aegon should have been king. He was just talking about Aegon the Conqueror.
Yeah. Right. He was talking about the original Aegon the Conqueror.
Because I think previously Rhaenyra had asked him about this while he was on his deathbed, but he didn't have the right words or he didn't answer it right away. So the next time he came to visit her, she came to visit him. He continued it, and then Alicent came to visit him the same night, and he continued again with the same conversation.
And was that referenced in the books?
That I'm not sure about.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she's pretty much talking about Aegon the Conqueror.
Okay.
Or he was talking about Aegon the Conqueror, and I guess, she wanted to make it seem like he was talking about her son.
I went back and I looked at the conversation that Viserys had with Alicent. I don't know how she got that. Aegon should have been the king, because there was no words like that. No. It was all very faint and vague.
Yeah.
So Alicent,
he was close to his deathbed at that point.
Yeah, Alicent filled in what she wanted to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course she did.
Yeah. You can't blame her, dude.
She's a stubborn lady.
Yeah. But I think this upcoming episode is going to be more of a battle, because in the beginning they had the two. I'm not too sure what the two.
I believe it's House Bracken is one of them, and I forget the name of the other. Blackwood. So the Blackwoods and the Brackens.
I think so.
You can see how important it is to have allegiance to either team. And that was just like a little peek of what we're gonna.
At this point,
it's kind of giving you a little prequel to showing you how powerful the Targaryen name is, right?
Yeah.
Because the fact that they're splitting apart now, you are seeing these big cities like the Blackwoods and the Brackens taking sides.
They did this whole fight without even anybody, like the Targaryens, knowing about it. Any support from them. They were like, no, we believe what we believe. We're gonna take action right now.
Yeah. I believe it was House Bracken. I'm not positive, but the first guy, he was very honest, and he said, Aegon is an usurper.
Yeah.
Usurper. He's not the true king.
Yeah.
So there are definitely people who are making that line, and it's gonna be a bloodbath.
Yeah. We saw it happen with the brothers. You know what I mean? I think that was episode 2.
Yeah, episode 2.
But
oh, that's right, the brothers, and they showed them getting buried, and that's when I believe Rhaenys was speaking with Rhaenyra, and that's when she had given her the advice to go and try and talk with Alicent and see if you can make something work out.
Yeah.
Clearly, Alicent she said, nope, we're too far, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, so we're definitely going to see. I'm super excited about the episode. I do anticipate a lot of people dying.
I'm trying to see dragons and armies. I said that at the beginning.
It was cool.
Tired of conversations.
It was cool to see Daemon going to Harrenhal.
Yeah.
And I think he became upon something strong. One of the.
I think so.
Yeah. And they pretty much just bent the knee.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, Daemon, take over, whatever. Yeah. But it was a weird, eerie feeling seeing him walk through Harrenhal by himself in his chainmail.
Yeah,
he was all suited up, ready to fight. And I think that was also kind of like a preview into what's about to happen between him and Aemon.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows the stories and has read the books knows what's gonna happen between the two. Yeah. Spoiler alert: they're gonna fight.
Yeah, back and forth.
Yeah, but so that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, we definitely have to reference that. The House of Dragons is gonna be epic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was also kind of funny at the end when Prince Aegon was running through the whorehouses, and they found Aemon. Yeah. He was cuddling with that one lady, that one prostitute.
He's always in that fetal position with her. I don't know why they try to do that to him.
And that was actually pretty big that he came and supposedly when he stood up and he was butt naked, that was him. And from what I've heard, a lot of people he's been under fire. A lot of people are, being mean online and saying horrible things about him. But
why? Because of his physique?
Because of his physique, he showed his whole body out. Yeah, but listen, I would love to see anybody else have the balls to put their body out on camera and do what he did. I think it added to the scene. It added to...
added to the character.
The character, exactly. Yeah. Because Aemon is a very powerful character.
Very powerful.
He rides the strongest dragon.
Yeah.
And he kind of has that attitude of, I don't give a...
Yeah.
Yeah, and also,
he needs to have
statistically, he's very, he's like a really good chess, playing chess.
Oh, yeah.
Chess piece.
Yeah, they're gearing up.
They're gearing up.
It was fun when Aegon was in the throne room with him. That table where they have all the people. They were all talking about it, and Aemon was saying he was going to go to the Riverlands. I believe. Yeah. He was going to ride to the Riverlands. They were
talking the same idea that Daemon had.
Yeah.
The very exact same.
But what was funny is that while he was speaking to Eamon about it, Aegon says, "Oh, I can ride out because I'm as strong as the rest of them." And he's not. Yeah. Everyone in that room looked at him and was like, "No, buddy, you're not that strong."
Yeah, everybody was like, they got like that fear, like if he goes, like we're all kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Like because if he
dies, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I forgot, but the knight that left, he was going to be captured by the dragon. What was his purpose?
Oh, Kristen Cole?
Kristen Cole, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't remember what his purpose was, but that was crazy when he was being chased by that dragon in that scene.
But I'm not sure if his purpose was to go to an ally or just to kind of observe what Rhaenyra's like troops are. You know, I wasn't too sure about it. You know.
I wasn't too sure about that haircut that he had when he came out in the second half of that episode.
Yeah, I was like, I guess he's working on another project.
Yeah. I was like, this did not work for you, buddy. Go back.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm sure all the women thought the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great episode. I mean, like, I'm sure there's more coming, but things are going well so far.
It's another setup episode, gearing you up, getting you ready for the bloodbath.
It's giving you that Game of Thrones, feel, which is I think what everybody was hoping for.
Yeah.
Like for Game of Thrones, it was always the second to last episode that had the crazy battle scene or like something crazy happened. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that.
Right, in season 6, I believe it was episode 9, or that the Battle of the Bastards was.
It's always the second to last.
Yeah, second to last.
And then the last episode shows you the aftermath.
Yeah. But you want to talk about something else or?
Nah, I think we're good for now.
We're good for now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for watching. I think we touched a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But we're super happy to be podcasting, and we'd appreciate your comments below if you like what we talk about, things that we can change, but just if you like us, subscribe, give us a comment, like us, we'd appreciate it,
comment all the shows you want us to talk about, all sports you want us to talk about, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, and if you guys want us to maybe just stream while we watch the shows, we're always open to suggestions and stuff like that. So cool. Well, level up.
Thanks, guys.